Unsettling situation/people. Have you ever met someone who you knew was dangerous or something was just really off about them? Or have you been in a situation where if you knew you didn't get out of it, something bad was going to happen? I have just two, but for some reason, I feel like I've been in those situations several times. Whatever, anyway. I don't remember this myself, but my aunt told me that this happened to me. I was 4 or 5 years old, playing with chalk in the front yard. My family is in the backyard. I am not sure why the fuck no one was watching me. My family can be pretty paranoid/cautious, so this was strange. My aunt snaps and realizes someone needs to find me and watch me. As she is coming out to the front where I am, there is a stranger, a man getting off of his car and coming towards me. As soon as he sees my aunt coming towards me from the house, he turns right around and gets in his car and speeds off. My aunt, 15 to 16 at the time, did not think to write down his license plates. This next one happened a couple of years ago. My mom tells me about Stupid Kid Frost and various Latin old school hip hop artist concert at a raunchy club. I decide what the hell, I'll bite. I go with my mom, meet up with my cousin and her dad, my uncle. My mom splits for a bit, and so has my uncle. I am drinking a bit with my cousin. I see my mom. She is making out with one of the artists, one of the rappers from that song, Back to the Hotel. I am really fucking pissed. She's been telling me how she wants to get back with my dad and had supposedly been talking to him. My mom's new groupie status gets us backstage. My cousin offers to share a blunt. We smoke until the show is over. I'm pretty high, but also aware of my surroundings. My cousin is also pretty fucked up too. I walk out. My cousin fucking falls in front of everyone in the stupidest way. I now know I really need to pay attention to what is going on. I am looking for one of the fucking responsible adults that we came with. I find my uncle. He is also fucked up. His eyes are bloodshot. His body is swaying. Damn, you are drunk as fuck. I decide I need to find my mom to drive everyone home. She never drinks while she is out. She doesn't need to drink to be fucking crazy. While I am talking to my uncle, there is this super thin guy. His eyes are wide. He is jittery and circling us. I swear he knows that we are all fucked up and can't take care of ourselves. I am scared we are gonna be on the fucking news tomorrow, dead and assaulted and shit. I find my mom. The rapper she was messing around with wants her to drive him back to his hotel room. My mom had to be fucked up too. I know she is no saint, but I've never seen her act like this, like so irresponsible in my entire life. She sees that none of us are able to drive my uncle's car back home, but leaves in her car with the rapper to his hotel anyway. Did that just fucking happen? This guy is still watching us with his huge fucking evil eyes. I'm feeling dread. If we don't die because of this crackhead watching us, I'm going to die in a fucking car crash tonight. I rush my uncle and my cousin to the car. My uncle assures us he can drive. I am high as shit. I would rather this fucker be responsible for the car crash. I am wide awake and catch my uncle falling asleep at the wheel several times, swerving like fucking crazy. We made it home. I know it could have just been me being high as hell and paranoid, but I was so scared. The guy was circling us as we discussed who was driving home. He was skipping around us with an eerie smile. I'd like to hear your stories. I'm sure any story is better than mine. I recently got married, and shortly after my new wife's parents died in a drunk driving hit and run, she inherited a nice sum of money, as well as her parents' humble manor up a hill near a gated community. Her parents were loaded. When we moved in, the place was entirely furnished and everything. It was a nice-ass place. We've been here about 3 years now, and a lot of fucked up things have gone on. It's the first month in new home when this happens. I am sleeping in my super comfy bed. Life is good. I start having a dream about being stuck in a bathtub that is being buried. I am strapped down with leather straps and chains. I am unable to scream because I have dirt in my mouth. The dream feels really real, like realer than real life, I suppose I can say. I wake up choking on something. I feel lightheaded. I catch my breath and contemplate waking up my wife, but decide to get water instead. I grab my phone because I don't even know where the light switches are and the power frequently goes out. I stumble through the second floor hall. It's pretty lengthy, so it takes about a minute and a half just to get to the stairs. As I'm about halfway through, I hear something dragging in the dark. It sounds like a crude, metallic object. I just shrug and continue. I am almost at the end of the hall when I see something lazily dragging a rusty shovel. It is wearing a frayed robe with a hood. It completely ignores me and walks to the opposite end and disappears. I drink some water from the sink, lie in my bed. I can't sleep. I just lay there until sunrise. I mention it to my wife, who sort of shrugs and ignores me. Here is another one, about a half year in. I get bored of staying at home all the time. I get a new job just to feel useful. I am working as security part-time for a bank. I just sit in a room all day, watch the cameras, and maybe walk around once in a while. Aside from scaring off some local teens from the parking lot, it's a pretty boring night. It is 4 a.m. It's a cold-ass night outside, despite almost no breeze. My partner comes in to cover until the afternoon. I get home at about 4:15 a.m. The power is out again, so I park my car in the driveway. I am too lazy to open the garage doors manually. I go to the door, and as I get my key out to unlock it, I hear a dragging sound, but not like before though. Chills go up my spine, and I react by grabbing my baton and turning around. I see nothing. I search around with my torch, only to find something shining in the grass by the only tree in our lawn. I pick it up. It's some sort of locket with a strange symbol. I pocket it. I sweep my lawn one last time and head back in after finding nothing. I put the locket on the table and go to bed. The next morning I show it to my wife. She becomes extremely defensive out of nowhere and demands I give it to her. I fuck with her until she ends up forcing it out of my hand and throws it in the fireplace. What the fuck? That thing looked cool. She looks at me and tells me not to mention it ever again. She said she just thought it was hideous is all. After about our second year here, she's been acting rather strange. That locket showed up a second time as well, in the same place, even though she burned it. It wasn't at all damaged. I later gave it to my coworker who covers my shifts. I am just gonna dump all my experiences because fuck it. Be me at work, it's 2 a.m. at this point. I am working until morning, so I'm thinking of picking up something from my wife when I get done. I am having my first cup of coffee and watching the monitors just like usual. These idiot teens are back. I watch them get drunk and skateboard around the parking lot. Suddenly, one points off towards the gate. The other kids stand up and they look to get extremely tense. They slowly back up. I decide it's go time to go get these shits off the parking lot. I walk outside and shine my light on them. Instead of being scared of me, they look relieved. They keep pointing at the gate and screaming, "He's going to kill us." I shine a light on the gate. It's a really old dude holding a knife. He's long, with a white scraggly beard. He's staring at us. I bring the kids into the bank and lock the doors. I tell them to sit tight until my partner arrives. I check the monitor. The old dude is standing in front of the side door, staring at it. I huddle the kids into the monitoring room. They are basically sobbing at this point. I call the police for assistance. I wait 15 minutes. Sirens going off. I check the feeds. The old dude is just gone. I talk to the police and try to show them the footage, but everything within those 20 minutes is just completely erased. I go home and drink until I pass out in the living room. This happened to me back in 2011. It was really cold at the time. I was a dishwasher for a Thai restaurant. I was just doing the usual, rinsing plates and loading them in the sanitizer. The owner, who is known as Crazy Thai Lady, and I can only assume the landlord, are talking to each other. I can't understand a word and don't get much further than acknowledgement. I continue to do my work and clean that wok. When the owner leaves the back to tend to the eating area, the landlord heads towards the 2 female chefs who are prepping and cooking for orders. He starts talking to them, Again, I cannot understand Thai. He starts groping and kind of fooling around. The chefs, both female, one around 20 and the other is 6 days or older. He continues to do this for a while. The older one is laughing, while the younger one cowered. I tried to keep to my work, but I have to turn to load the sanitizer every now and then. They continue teasing each other in their dialect. I am confused as to whether they enjoy this or not, but I am outranked by this landlord who has crazy Thai lady in a mood. I am concerned because the cooks are nice to me and let me eat free food. He stopped when the Thai lady came in. They continued to talk about things that were going on with the restaurant, this time in English. I guess that means everything is cool. It's all good. I clean, mop, lock up, and get paid for the night. I come back 2 days later because weekdays are not busy. The younger chef is gone. I figured she was outside dealing with the jugs of oil for the fryer in the pan/wok. A few hours pass in a blink and still no sign of her. I could never remember the cooks' names. I decided to ask the older chef if she needed help, being short-handed and all. She shot me a look like no other. I took this to mean that I should not talk about it or her. I was still curious and wanted to help anyway. It really did look like she needed some. The time passed and I could not get her to talk, and she got really nervous around Thai lady. I never saw the younger chef ever again. Hey, hope you've enjoyed the story so far. If you want to hear more, make sure to subscribe, like the video, and leave a comment because it lets YouTube know you like the content and helps more people to see these videos. My next big goal for the channel is 100,000 subscribers, and as a celebration, I will be doing a Q&A video once we hit that goal. Thank you, and back to the stories. I actually have a story that I haven't been able to get off of my mind recently. Forgive the green text if it's bad. I've never really done much of it. I was 17 years old at the time this happened. I hear seemingly random, high-pitched droning sounds sometimes. I ask if others hear it if they are around. Dad, mom, sisters, brother, and any friends all say no. I have worse hearing than most of them because I went shooting without ear pro like a fucking moron. It's not tinnitus. I get that sound too, but this sound is at random and can outright drown out other noises, TV, etc. I can drown it out in headphones though. It's almost like when a game crashes hard, a loud, increasing, deep droning sound. Whenever I hear it, it sticks around for a few minutes after it's done, like it's still ringing in my ears. I record it on a voice recorder app and listen to it again later that night. The recording stops, but it does not stick around like it does when I hear it live. I show some of my friends. They say it's weird as hell, but they don't believe me. I chalked it up to some weird white noise bullshit, construction or something, since I didn't really know. Here is what changed. I am 19 years old at the time of these next events. I never really forgot about that noise, but it was never really on my mind all the time. I still live with my parents here, since jobs in my area are all kinds of rare. I moved to a middle of nowhere log house in that time. Great place, but the well is a bit spotty. No happenings, ever. Not even sounds in the woods, animal or otherwise. About a year after moving, I wake up in the middle of the night to pee. The bathroom is a bit long, with a window at one end and a door at the other. The window is open because it gets hot as shit in the bathroom once the sun comes up. As soon as I turn on the lights, I hear something scurrying around outside. I never hear any animals, but I assume it was a raccoon or something. It runs away with what sounded like 2 heavy legs, not 4 light ones. I freak myself out. I assume it's either some skinwalker bullshit or an escaped ostrich. There actually is an ostrich farm some 5-hour drive away from me. I pee, close the window, and lock it. I just tell it as a funny story and brush it off. A few months later, I hear something tapping at my window. I grab my lever action and open up the blinds. It's a turkey. I stare at it for a second and then close the blinds and go back to sleep. Wake up again, weirded out. I tell it as a funny story and again, brush it off. I'm getting jittery thinking about this next part. A few months later, I invite a friend to come over and shoot guns in the woods. We've done it a few times together already, nothing really to worry about. We shoot some rounds of .22 and .30, trying to cut the limbs off bushes as targets. We are away from my house by about a 5-minute walk. Not exactly miles, but it's some distance. We are firing guns, just like usual. I suddenly hear the noise again. It's the first time in years. There are no other noises nearby. My friend looks at me and asks if I can hear it too. I nod at him. I look around. I suddenly feel sick to my stomach. I wake up hours later, confused as shit. I am wearing portions of my friend's clothing. My friend is wearing portions of my clothing. His hat is on wrong. My friend's necklace is on his wrist. We swap out for the right clothing and walk back, both confused as hell. I try to talk to my friend about it. He outright says he does not know what the hell that was. I don't remember anything. My friend doesn't remember anything either. We get back to my house. My friend drives home, and I look on the internet. I never believed in UFO shit, but it all matches. I tactically shit my pants over the entire thing. This is the part that happened to me recently. I am about 20 years old now. I never had any sort of time jumps, never heard the noise again, and my friend hasn't really noticed anything like that either. I never go shooting by myself again, even though going with other people would not help. I wake up one night as a window breaks. I assume some criminal is breaking in, trying to kill me, and I grab my 30-30. I put earplugs in, because I do not want to blow my eardrums out my ass, because I fired indoors. I sweep around best as I can. I end up in the living room with a broken window. No one is to be found. I feel some absolutely massive metal hand grab the back of my head. It wasn't hurting me, it just held me there and took my gun out of my hands with its other hand. I am freaking out. I am so afraid I cannot even scream. I can hear regular person footsteps to my right. I feel a needle in my neck and pass out. I can only remember bits of this next part. The hand around my head lets go of me as some guy in a black and grey uniform stands in front of me. It looked kinda like a Confederacy uniform with some eagle pins. He catches me and lifts me up like a toddler. He must have super strength or something. He turns around with me, dangling on his shoulder, and I see what the thing with metal hands was. It's some robot or a suit of power armor. It looks outright like sci-fi. Think NC Max with grey colors or Fallout Enclave power armor. I can barely focus as the guy carries me back to my bed. He lays me down and looks at me in the face. He had weirdly pronounced features, sucked-in cheeks, Superman jaw, long forehead, small nose. He had weird green eyes. The color was almost glowing. He blinked and the glow got brighter, now like an actual light. He leaves and I'm just laying there on my bed, paralyzed. I eventually fall asleep. I wake up the next morning. The window was not broken anymore, but my gun was on the kitchen counter and the floor was scratched every few feet. It looked like someone with sharp shoes took exaggerated steps. I have not heard a peep of anything in the woods since. No animals, no noises, none of that sound, and no bullshit. It's been a couple of years since this happened. I don't think they're coming back. I think whoever those guys were, they scared them off. I can only really speculate on this, but if you're out there, grey man, thank you. Pick is semi-related. The general shape matches, but all the details are screwy. The exact shape of the helmet and shoulders are off. It doesn't match any kind of armor, but this was the best match I could find. This is one from the first time my family went to Florida. Not so spoopy, but it is true. Be me. I am 12 years old and British on my first trip to America. Obviously, we went to Disneyland. About 6 days into the holiday, we went to that downtown Disney place with all the restaurants and stuff. Went to the Rainforest Cafe. Fucking great. By this point, we were all adjusted to the fact that around 4 to 5 p.m, it rains like all fuck. But there had been a storm warning in the morning, so we opted to set off early to beat the rain. Either way, we left the cafe at 3:30 to a downpour. We somehow made it back to the car through the rain. We are soaked through. My 6-year-old sister is complaining to high heaven that her new dress got rained on. We set off on the hour-and-a-half drive back. About 20 minutes in, we see the streak of lightning touch down, somewhere to our left, then a thunderclap not 2 seconds later. I hear my mom say holy shit over my MP3 player. I take out one headphone. My sister does the same thing. She is as white as a sheet and terrified. It's not even 4 yet, but it is pitch black outside. The clouds and rain are so dense that my dad has slowed down to about 20 miles per hour. This is what sets me on edge. He is the safest driver I know. He took my mom to the hospital at 2 in the morning on country back roads, averaging 90 in a fucking van when she was in labor with my sister. He is never afraid of driving, ever. Lightning hits again, same place, thunder rolls. My sister is trembling. I end up holding her hand, one headphone in each from our respective MP3 players, watching the lightning hit. At around 4:30, we have to stop completely. The rain is so heavy, it's like being underwater. The radio is off so my dad can concentrate. Again, not right for him at all. About a minute later, my MP3 stops working. I can't get it to turn on, and I just put a new battery in. My sister taps my arm. Hers has stopped too. I've never seen anyone so scared. I give her my hand to squeeze. We opt to listen to the rain. The car is silent. My parents do not say a word, neither do we. I'm doing that thing where you count the seconds between lightning and thunder to guess how far away it is. My sister is doing this too. I can see her counting her fingers. The lightning is touching down everywhere, all directions at random intervals. The rain is at its heaviest at this point. My dad breaks the silence to tell us he's going to pull off of the road. He does not feel right about staying on the road when we are not moving. He pulls over, slowly and totally blind, but he gets there. I can't hear anything over the rain and thunder. After a couple of minutes of silence, my sister squeezes my hand. I look over at her. Her eyebrows are knitted together in worry, peering out the window. And in that second, I swear to God, the lightning struck, and I hear a faint groan of agony over the thunder. I keep replaying the sound in my head, trying to figure out if I did hear it or not, before I look back at my sister and see that she is staring, wide-eyed, out of the windscreen. And again, as the lightning hits, I hear a sound, a horrific, blood-curdling scream. We all heard it. I saw my mom look at my dad. She was as wide-eyed and pale as my sister. The scream seems to echo on forever, over the sound of the rain, before I realize I'm just replaying it in my head. Over the next 10 minutes, my mind just went into overdrive. I would swear I heard that scream or groan over every thunderclap, warped by my own mind into this horrifying death scream. I kept seeing blurry figures through the rain, backlit by the lightning. My sister was holding onto my hand so tightly that it hurt, but I could not let go. The concept of letting go of her terrified me more than anything else. The rain lets up a little about 15 minutes after that first scream, and Dad sets off again at that slow pace. And then, another 10 minutes later, we come to this abrupt stop. There is a car in front of us. It's parked up at an odd angle. My dad gives it a couple of minutes before setting off to go around it. But there are more cars. It's a 3-car pileup. The one in the middle is obliterated. The ones on either end are both wrecked too. My dad wants to get out of the car to see what is going on. My mom grips his arm. Her nails draw fucking blood as she tells him to stay in the car. We will call the police when we get out of the rain. They argue for a couple of minutes, maybe more. My mom wins. We carry on a little further. There is another car, all doors open, and a huge group of people gathered around it, all huddled together in the glow of the inner lights. My dad gets out and asks what is going on, much to my mom's protests. I am still holding my sister's hand. I lean across to get a better look. About 5 paces away from the car, just within reach of the taillights, there is a woman sitting on the floor with a blanket around her shoulders, drenched to the bone. She is staring straight down the road, in the direction of the crash. She barely blinks. She does not move when a guy from the group comes over and crouches down next to her, except to brush his hand off her arm when he tries to get her to get up. My dad returns. The police have already been called. The people around the car were in the crash. I want to ask about the woman, but by this point, I am struggling with keeping my breathing under control and could not even consider forming a sentence. We get back on the road to home. As the rain clears up, I find that my MP3 player is working again. My sister calms down the further away we got. We finally made it back to our villa around 6 o'clock. We're all calmer, but my dad is visibly shaken still. Me and my sister both went to bed early, but I gave her the biggest hug of my life before I said goodnight, and we went to our rooms. I barely got any sleep that night. I kept replaying those sounds and seeing that woman. By the looks of everyone the next morning, so did they. A couple of years later, when I was 15 years old, I remembered that incident. The sounds and images were just as vivid as the day I experienced them, but we had not really talked about it since. So I asked my mom about it, as we had just booked another trip to Florida. When me and my sister had gone to bed, Dad had told her what the group around the car had actually said. The crash had happened while we were parked at the side of the road. The middle car had not seen the first parked in the road through the rain. The impact trapped the driver's legs, but the passenger escaped. But the third car made the same mistake, hit the middle car with so much force that it crushed it. We were close enough to have seen this on a clear day. Somehow, over the rain, we did not hear the two cars pass us and hit each other, but we did hear a woman scream in horror as she watched her husband be crushed to death in his car. Thinking back on it, if my dad had not pulled off of the road, that could have been us. The fact that we did not hear anything from the crash but that scream is so bizarre, but both that woman's face and scream were in my nightmares for weeks afterwards. The only thing that she did not mention was that initial groan me and my sister heard, but I chalked that up to her either not hearing it or it not being real. I did not bring it up. But there is some part of me that's been on X too long that makes me believe that that was the final groan of that poor woman's husband waking up from the impact of a car crash minutes before he died. I am pretty sure that this was a fever dream, but I will tell it anyway. Be me. I was 6 years old at the time this happened. I'm just laying in my comfy bed. It's a Thursday. I had a small flu, so I got out of school early and enjoyed watching Nat Geo while eating McDonald's. The last thing I see is an episode about domestication and cattle and what they were like before. I distinctly remember a shot where a big woolly sheep is glancing around and then stares directly at the camera. I pass out. I wake up hours later. It is pitch black. There is a distinct scent of sweat and overall unpleasant humidity. I am sweating like a pig. The covers have become super tight and uncomfortably hot. I figure that the power went out. This is Florida, and storms sometimes roll in and out quickly with the power. The TV turns on by itself. It goes to the scene of lambs and sheep, except it's in fast forward. Due to the lighting and sheer nervousness, the TV dims out everything else in the room. Essentially, the only thing I can see is what is on the TV. The lamb and sheep are running fast and doing weird shit, like contorting and screaming. There is no sound except droning static. I tried to move, only barely. The blankets are soaking wet and tight on my body. I tried to scream for my dog, my sisters, my mom, or my dad. I can't seem to breathe enough air. The TV pauses on the screenshot of a sheep looking to the side. Ah, shit. It turns to face the camera. Its face begins to retract, with its whites emerging from its sockets and black pupils fixed on me. It opens its mouth and lets out a mixture of guttural screaming and sheep's loud baws. I scream as it gets louder and louder. When I scream, the TV turns off. The sound is still there. My eyes start adjusting to the new dark. I notice at the doorway, there is a tall figure with goat horns staring at me. I see it slink into the room. It has hooves, satyr legs, and a horned head. I cry as it approaches the bed. I shut my eyes. I feel it lean down next to me. I feel a warm tongue on my cheek, licking several times. I finally snap and try to push it away. I wake up, having put my hands on my dog, who was licking my sweat and trying to calm me down and lay with me. The room is now normal. The lights are on. The episode has moved on. Only about an hour of time had passed. I think nothing of it and move on. I am also pretty sure I got spooked by that one animation of the sheep jumping and transforming around by that one Photoshop artist, but I can't remember if that was released on YouTube by that time or if that was way later. That still shot of the sheep is still firmly placed in my brain, and I dread the day I rediscover it. Woolly sheep, green field, is staring off to the left chewing on grass before slowly turning to face and stare at the camera, stopping from eating as it just looks forward at you.